Alrighty, let's do the last part of the review. Should we pick another pretty color? Look how beautiful that blue is. We're gonna go with that one. All right, let's see. Number 1, divide that by that. Okay, you guys, you can do long division all day long if you want. I have been fully converted into the box, you guys. I believe in the box. So all you got to do with the box is put the x plus 3 on the side. Put the 3x cubed, just that first term of what you're dividing in here. And now, if there's an x there, what must have been there to multiply to make the 3x cubed? Had to have been a 3x squared. You guys, a little trick if you have trouble with this a little is put the 1 there. So now you could tell that 1 and 2 makes the 3 with the exponent. Okay, 3x squared times 3 is 9x squared. Look at that 9x squared. It combined with something to become 4x squared, so that's a minus 5x squared, all right? How could I figure that out? I could have taken what I want, which is the 4, and subtract what I had, which is the 9, to get the negative 5, okay? And now I have the negative 5x squared here with the x there, makes this a negative 5x. And then times this is negative 15x. And then now this is a negative 15x, but it needs to be a negative 17x. So we need another negative 2x, all right? Again, you can obtain it by taking the number that you want, which is negative 17, subtracting the number that you have, which is negative 15. And that would become negative 2, which is what we knew we had. Okay, and this is now a negative 2, and times that is a negative 6, and that matches this. The fact that these match means no remainder. And number 1, the answer is this. All right, 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. Just gonna draw an arrow. There you go. Okay, now let's divide a 4th degree, okay? No problem. It'll go very much the same. We'll make the box right here. Doop, 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 doop. And now I'm going to note this for you guys. Look at that exponent of 4 drops to 3. After that drops to 1. That means right here I have a 0x squared. Keep that in mind. You need a placeholder for any terms that are missing. Okay, so now you have x and minus 3. That's what we're dividing goes here. The x to the 4th goes here. If it helps, put the 1 right there so that you can see x cubed goes there. Then negative 3x cubed goes there. And it's a negative 3, but I want it to be a positive 6, so I need another 9. If that was confusing, don't forget the same trick, you guys. Take what you want it to be, which is a positive 6, and subtract what you have, which is a negative 3. So when you subtract a negative, it does double and become a plus, which is a 9, which is where that came from. Okay, I'm going to stop doing this for you guys. Okay, so please practice it on your own until you're comfortable. Okay, this must be a 9x squared. 9x squared times negative 3 is negative 27x squared. And it's a negative 27. It should be the x squared term. It should be a 0. So we need to add 27 to negative 27 to make it 0. That gives me 27x right there. And then 27 times 3 is going to be, what is that? 1. Carry the 2, 81. All right, you could use a calculator. But it's a negative 81x. That's one I should know, but I never know what 27 times 3 is. That's silly. It's the same as 9 times 9. Silly me. All right, and then I have a negative 181 x, but I want it to be a negative 54. So I want the negative 54 minus my negative 81 to become 81 minus 54, which is 7. Is it? Why am I tripping? 7, 2, 27? Oh my god, there's 27 again, taunting me. It is 27. So that's a 27x. And then this is a 27. And then 27 times 3 is a negative 81. That I remember now. And, oh shoot, you can't see the box. There it is. And here's the answer to this one. I'm going to write it. Where should we write it? Let's write it in black. Maybe here. X cubed plus 9x squared plus 27x plus 27. Okay, when a polynomial function is divided by that, the remainder is 0. What does that mean? Ooh, that's so interesting. Let's make sure we understand this, you guys, because boy, is understanding stuff like this important. Okay, when I divide something by something and the remainder is 0, it means that this thing right here divides evenly. It means that it is a factor. That means whatever this v of x polynomial is, it might have a bazillion factors, I don't know. Okay, one of them is x minus 3. So really, I mean, if it helps, which it does, write stuff like this down, draw it, see what it means. So now, does this mean that negative 3 is a 0? Go back here and tell me. If you see x minus 3 in the equation as a factor, what does that mean the 0 is? The sign's got to switch. So no, it's not that one. All right. Does that mean that v of negative 3 is 0? Again, not negative. V of 3 is 0. Oh, which is right here. Okay. Does it mean that negative 3 is an x-intercept? No, dude. It's 3. Okay? So it is definitely that one right there. And you guys, please check it. All right? You guys get kind of thrown by function notation a lot. What goes inside the parentheses? That's x. What's over here then? That's y. They're saying that when you plug 3 in for x, you get 0 for y. That is true, all right? But if it were the other way around, it would not be true. V of 0 would not necessarily be 3. They don't mean the same thing, all right? Okay, let's keep going. Here's a new polynomial, w of x, and that's it. And I noticed they've thrown this b right there, no problem. They're saying that x minus 2 is a factor. So what is b? All right, that means we got to divide. You guys, when I see that the biggest exponent is a 4, I make a box that's 4 across, and then I have x and minus 2. And then here we go. Okay. Start with x to the 4th right here. So if that's x to the 4th, then this is x to the 3rd. And x to the 3rd times this is negative 2x cubed. Then negative 2x cubed plus whatever this is must be b. All right. So remember that negative 2 plus this unknown right here must equal b. Okay. We're a little bit stuck already, huh? That's no fun. Let's go backwards. If x minus 2 is indeed a factor, then we would need a 16 to be here because we would need these two to match, meaning no remainder. So if that's a 16 and that's a negative 2, this one's a negative 8. And so then this is a boom, boom, negative 8x. And if there's a negative 8x here, but I want a negative 14x, I needed another negative 6x, which then makes this a 3x, because 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. And then if this is a 3x and that's an x, then this is a 3x squared. And if that's a 3x squared, but I wanted an 8x squared, I need another 5x squared. So then now, if there's a 5 there, what does 5 multiply? Or what multiplies by 2 to make 5? That's 2.5, 2.5. 2.5 x squared. A negative. So the negative and negative will cancel and make the positive, which makes this guy right here negative 2.5x cubed. And now, don't be fooled, all right? The answer is not negative 2.5 because the negative 2.5 combines with the negative 2, remember? To make that b is actually negative 4.5. So these two are like terms that combine to make what goes there. And so the answer is A. Okay. Okay, we got a polynomial. Which statement is not true? Let me tell you how I go about this. First off, I notice that this likely factors. The reason I notice this is that I see a 3 and a 4, and I notice that that's divisible by 3 and 4, and then I look at it in my head and I go, oh, that's probably going to work out. But let me show you. If you come over here and you take the x squared out of these two terms, you're left with 3x plus 4. And then if you take out a negative 4 out of these two terms, you will be left with 3x plus 4. All right? That means that you could either do it this way, or you could just go to the box like this. Too many. Sorry. Go to the box like this and drop these 4 terms in here and factor it. Either way, you get the 3x minus 4 or 3x plus 4 times x squared minus 4. And x squared minus 4 is a difference of squares, so that's x plus 2 and x minus 2. So those are all the factors, all right? What does that mean? Does it mean that x minus 2 is a factor? Yeah, it is. It's right here. So that statement is true. Does it mean that negative 4/3 is an x-intercept? Remember, the opposite of this number over this number is a 0 or x-intercept. So B is true. C has it being positive. It should be negative. So C is actually the one that's not true. And is x plus 2 a factor? Yeah, it is. It's right there. Okay. Another one. Which statement's not true? To determine if 4 is a 0, you can substitute x equals 4 in to see if q of 4 is 0. That is totally true. All right? If 4 is a 0, by definition, plugging it into the function should get me a 0. That's what this is saying. Okay, next, divided by x plus 4 to see if the remainder is 0. Oh, so close. So close. If the 0 is 4, the factor is x minus 4. So this, no. This, yes, they should have done x minus 4. Okay? So what's not true? B is not true. You guys, please, B is not true. And again, here, C is not true. Okay. Can you graph it and see if there's an x-intercept at 4? Absolutely. All right? And you can also do D. All right, and that's all. Look at that.